welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the podcast where we, take a whole stack of sources, pull out the key insights, and basically give you a shortcut to getting really informed on a topic.
That's the goal.
And today, we're diving into something that, well, it probably resonates with a lot of you listening. Maybe you're a parent and educator, or maybe you just remember vividly how intense sometimes being a teenager can be.
Definitely a formative time.
We're focusing on teen health, specifically looking at it through the lens of weight management.
A really important and often sensitive area.
Exactly. Our source material for this deep dive comes from excerpts of an online video. It's called Teen Health and Weight Loss, 8 Essential Tips.
Okay.
And this video, like a lot of the content you see aimed at, young people, it has a very clear stated mission. It says it wants to help teenagers lose weight safely and effectively.
Right. The safe and effective part is key.
And crucially, it promises to do this without crazy diets or endless restrictions. That phrase really jumps out.
It does. That's a pretty powerful hook, especially for that audience. It sets a specific expectation right away.
Right. So the point of our deep dive today isn't just to talk about the health challenges teens face, though we will touch on that. It's actually a bit more nuanced.
We're looking deeper.
Yeah, we want to unpack the specific language being used, the promises being made, and honestly, some of the quite clever ways content like this tries to engage its audience.
It gives us a window, really, into how this kind of sensitive information is packaged up and delivered to, well, a really important demographic, one that can be quite vulnerable to.
We're sort of looking at the architecture of the message itself, aren't we?
Precisely. It's about looking at the framing. How is this advice presented to young people? That often tells you just as much about the creator's strategy, maybe more, than the actual health advice itself.
Okay.
And understanding that communication strategy is really key if you want to figure out how online content tries to reach and influence teenagers, especially on big topics like their health and body image.
It helps you see the mechanics behind it all.
Exactly, the mechanics of influence, really.
Okay, so let's jump into the core message then.
Yeah.
Because the source kicks off by highlighting some pretty serious health concerns for teenagers in the U.S.
Yeah, it doesn't pull punches there.
It says, and I'm quoting here, more and more teenagers are facing health issues like prediabetes, high blood pressure, and even metabolic syndrome before they turn 18. That paints a pretty stark picture.
It really does. These aren't small things.
No, not just minor health hiccups.
Absolutely not. And what's truly alarming here, the real nugget, is seeing these conditions, things we usually associate with, middle age or older adults,
right,
showing up in teens. And the rate in some groups has apparently quadrupled in the last couple of decades.
Quadrupled? Wow.
Yeah. It's not just an individual health problem. It signals a pretty profound societal shift, I think. We're talking about risk factors for really serious chronic diseases.
Like type 2 diabetes, heart disease.
Exactly. Stroke, too. Appearing before these kids are even legally adults. Just think about the long-term impact of that.
Decades of potential health issues.
Potentially living with these conditions for decades, needing ongoing medical care. It impacts their quality of life, their mental health, even their economic future, potentially. It makes you ask, are we setting up the next generation with the basic, physiological resilience they need?
That's a heavy question.
It points to broader public health stuff, doesn't it? Big changes in diet, activity levels dropping, sleep patterns all over the place, so much screen time.
Yeah.
It's not just about weight, fundamentally. It's about how this generation is functioning and what their future health looks like.
Okay, that really does underscore the urgency the source seems to be tapping into.
Yeah.
And right after painting that concerning picture, it pivots to this core promise, one that seems carefully designed to appeal directly to teenagers. It says it will offer 8 powerful tips to help teens lose weight safely and effectively without crazy diets or endless restrictions.
There's that phrase again.
Yeah, that without crazy diets or endless restrictions part feels incredibly important, especially for this age group, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just important. It's a critical piece of messaging and probably highly strategic.
Why so critical?
Well, think about it. For teens, Safe and effective weight loss isn't just a nice to have, it's essential because their bodies are still developing massively.
Right, still growing.
Exactly. So extreme diets, really restrictive eating, that can seriously mess with vital stuff like growth, bone density, hormones, even how their brain develops and functions.
Okay, yeah.
Their nutritional needs are specific, they're non-negotiable for healthy development. Depriving them can cause long-lasting harm, physically and psychologically. So emphasizing safe and effective. That's not just marketing speak, it's a medical necessity, really.
Got it.
And the without crazy diets or restrictions part, that hits home because it acknowledges where they are developmentally and psychologically too. Adolescence is, well, it's intense.
Identity, social pressure.
All of that. Huge body image struggles often come into play. So, pushing restrictive diets can easily backfire, leading to disordered eating, body dysmorphia, anxiety.
A really negative relationship with food.
Exactly. One that can stick around for years. So, a message that promises results without being harsh offers a healthier path. It makes it much more likely teens will actually engage positively and maybe even sustain any healthy changes.
It feels more empowering than punishing.
That's a great way to put it. Empowerment versus punishment, essential for long-term well-being.
That distinction feels absolutely crucial. And the video doesn't just stop at promising a method. It goes on to paint this really vivid picture of the outcomes.
The aspirational part.
Yeah, it invites teens to imagine how different you could feel just weeks from now, and then lists these specific benefits. More energy, better focus at school, and the confidence to step into any room without second-guessing yourself.
Okay. Those are definitely appealing outcomes for a teenager.
They really resonate, I think. But I wonder, framing it like that just weeks from now, does that maybe risk creating unrealistic expectations, especially given how complex weight and body image can be?
That's a really sharp question. It definitely highlights a tricky balance content creators have to walk.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there's always a risk of setting expectations too high with that kind of aspirational language, but you have to admit the psychological pull of painting those positive outcomes so vividly is strong, especially for teens.
They want results quickly.
Often, yeah.
Yeah.
Adolescence can be driven by more immediate gratification, seeing progress that just weeks from now, time frame, while maybe a bit ambitious, it taps right into that desire for change, for hope.
Okay.
And look at the benefits listed. Energy, focus, confidence. They're not just physical, are they?
No, they're psychological, social.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They hit right at the core of what teens worry about and aspire to. More energy isn't just about running faster. It's keeping up with friends, doing well in sports, juggling school and social life without feeling wiped out.
Makes sense.
Better focus at school that directly addresses academic pressure. It links feeling healthier to doing better in a huge part of their lives.
Right.
And the confidence one. Step into any room without second-guessing yourself. That might be the most powerful one of all.
Why is that?
Because adolescence is peak self-consciousness time. There's this intense desire for acceptance, navigating tricky social stuff. This promise speaks directly to that fundamental need for self-esteem, for feeling okay in social situations, for belonging.
So it's suggesting better physical health unlocks feeling better internally, socially.
Precisely. It's a holistic appeal, connecting the physical to the emotional and social, which for teenagers is often everything.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, focusing on those broader benefits makes a lot of sense strategically. Now, beyond these foundational promises and outcomes, the video then seems to shift gears a bit. It gets more interactive.
The engagement tactics.
Exactly. What I found really interesting was how the creator tries to actively build a connection, not just throwing information out there, but asking direct questions.
Like what?
Well, things like, what state are you watching this from? Also, on a scale from 1 to 10, how helpful do you find health and fitness videos like this?
Okay. Direct feedback.
And what's one topic you'd love me to cover in the next video? Recipes, workouts, or mindset tips?
It definitely makes watching feel less passive.
Yeah, that's a pretty smart, sophisticated strategy, actually. It's doing several things at once, beyond just basic engagement.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first, asking, what state are you watching this from? That's not just small talk.
No.
It's a clever way to build that sense of community. Makes viewers feel like they're part of something bigger, connected to others watching. That feeling of belonging is huge for teens.
Okay.
And from the creator's side, it's also giving them useful demographic info. Where's my audience? Maybe I can tailor things geographically later.
Right. And the helpfulness question.
That's direct, actionable feedback, isn't it? Super valuable for creators. helps them figure out what's landing, what's not, how to tweak future content to be more valuable, more relevant.
Makes sense. Keep the audience happy. And then the last one, asking about future topics, recipes, workouts, mindset that serves a really strategic dual purpose.
Which is?
One, it empowers the viewer, makes them feel like they have a say in what gets made, which deepens their connection, their sense of ownership. But two, it basically gives the creator a ready-made list of video ideas that they know their audience wants. It's like crowdsourcing their content plan.
Ensuring people will actually watch the next video.
Exactly. Massively boosts the chances the next thing they make will hit the mark. So it turns passive viewing into something active, personalized, almost co-creative.
That makes a lot of sense. And that interactive approach seems to lead right into guiding the viewer towards next steps.
Yeah.
With these really clear calls to action.
The CTAs, yeah. Always important in online content.
The source mentions checking a link, it's in the description, naturally for a guide that can help you transform your body and well-being.
The lead magnet.
Right. Also, staying until the end for the practical, realistic, and proven tips. Subscribing, hitting the notification bell for daily health tips.
Building the audience.
And even sharing the video with a friend who's also a teen. It's like they're trying to cover all the bases to keep you connected.
Oh, absolutely. What you're describing is a really well-designed, multi-layered strategy for user engagement and, crucially, retention. Each of those calls to action fits into a bigger picture, like a content funnel.
Okay, explain that a bit.
So, checking the link for the guide. That's the immediate next step. Take action now. That guide is probably designed to get your email address or lead you to something more in-depth, maybe behind a paywall eventually.
Turns viewer into a lead.
Exactly. Deepens their investment, pulls them further into the creator's world, then telling them to stay till the end for the good stuff, the practical tips. Classic retention tactic.
Builds anticipation.
Builds anticipation, keeps them watching longer, plays on that psychological need to close the loop. You want the info you were promised.
Right.
Asking to subscribe and hit the bell, that's about long-term connection. Turning a one-off viewer into part of the regular audience, they get notified, they come back, builds community.
And the sharing part.
That leverages peer pressure, but in a positive way, hopefully. Peer-to-peer influence is incredibly powerful, especially with teens. It gets the content out there organically, turns viewers into advocates, creates social proof. My friend shared this, it must be good.
So taken together, it's a whole pathway.
It really is a sophisticated pathway guiding the viewer from just being curious to sticking around, exploring more, and even spreading the word themselves.
Now, here's something really important for our discussion today, I think. The video, it promises these 8 powerful tips, but the actual specifics of those tips, they aren't included in the source material we're looking at for this deep dive.
Right. We don't know what the actual advice is.
Exactly. So the value here for us and for you listening isn't about judging the weight loss advice itself. It's about understanding the framing, the approach this kind of content uses when talking about teen health.
We're dissecting the strategy, not necessarily the solution offered.
Precise.
And that in itself is really revealing. Think about it. If the video just listed all 8 tips right at the start,
People might just grab them and leave.
a lot probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
Their immediate need is met, boom, they're gone. But by promising the tips, maybe linking them to that guide or making you wait, the creator is strategically building that funnel we talked about, or sometimes it's called a value ladder.
Okay.
It's not just about dumping information, it's about nurturing a journey, moving someone from just watching passively to engaging actively, maybe signing up for something, getting more involved with the creator's platform or brand.
It uses psychological triggers.
Definitely. Things like the open loop, leaving a question unanswered, or a promise like the tips are coming to keep you hooked, and demonstrating value. Here's a taste of how I can help. Stick around for more.
So it keeps viewers engaged, makes them come back, or gets them to take that next step, like downloading the guide.
Exactly. It's kind of a masterclass in lead generation, but presented as purely helpful content. That's a key insight into how a lot of online stuff works today, especially for audiences looking for quick answers, but who might actually benefit from more sustained engagement.
It builds authority for the creator, too, presumably.
Builds authority, creates a sense of ongoing need, and lets them guide the user deeper into their world.
Okay, so wrapping this up then. As we finish this deep dive, it feels like we've learned quite a bit just from these pieces of the video.
Yeah, even without the core tips, the structure is informative.
We've seen how creators zero in on those critical health issues. Teens are facing prediabetes, metabolic syndrome, and frame them really urgently.
Setting the stakes high.
Then we explored that careful messaging around safe and effective solutions, very deliberately avoiding crazy diets or endless restrictions, which we discussed is so important for teens.
Crucial for that age group, yeah.
And we dug into the pretty sophisticated ways they engage the audience-building community with questions, using those multi-layered calls to action to keep people interacting and sharing.
It's a fascinating look at how online influence really gets built piece by piece.
It really is. It's like seeing the blueprint.
Indeed. It's a real demonstration of how to connect with, motivate, and kind of keep hold of a specific audience on a sensitive topic, often using pretty standard digital marketing techniques.
Yeah.
Which leads us, I think, to a final, maybe provocative thought for you, the listener, to chew on.
Okay, let's hear it.
Considering these challenges teens face, the health risks, the psychological pressures, and then considering the promises these content creators are making, what responsibilities do they really have when addressing such sensitive stuff with young people?
That's a big one.
And maybe, how can we as parents, educators, friends, just consumers of information ourselves, how can we best guide young people towards advice that is genuinely safe and effective? Advice that promotes long-term health and a positive relationship with their bodies, not just, the quick fix being dangled.
That is a vital question for all of us to think about. Thank you for joining us on this exploration today.
My pleasure.
We really hope this deep dive has given you some fresh perspective on how information, especially health information, gets presented to teenagers, and maybe even some ideas on how you might help guide them through it all.